person. We are person to person. This is Shanita, and she's my person.
What up, though? This is Journey, and she is my person. And together,
we are person to person. Let's get into it, girl.
Okay, so let's start with what's tea?
What is the tea?
Okay, so you were telling me something about the female Jay Leno and some mess she was talking.
Not the female Jay
I mean, well, she is, but please explain to the people so that we can discuss.
The female Jay Leno is none other than Natalie Nunn. Okay? Now, we started this podcast off with what up, though? Because we are Detroiters.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Okay.
What street you live on?
Which one? 6 Mile and Evergreen, first of all, is where I was ranked AAs, okay?
Mm-hmm. Ranked
AAs, okay? 6 Mile, Brick Mile. But anywho.
Okay, and I grew up on Bentley and Brightmore. You feel me?
Okay.
And I'm a homeowner in Detroit to this day. Okay, so we are Detroit down. Okay, so this foolishness, right? You know they doing a baddies Midwest.
Yes, I heard about the foolishness that went on down at the Kobo. Yeah,
The auditions, okay?
Yeah.
If you will.
If that's talent, if it was auditions or whatever, but continue.
Okay. And so we saw our girl cashed out, just being over it, while all of the shenanigans were going on. And to add to that madness, Natalie Nunn went on a rant saying that her baby daddy, her husband, they from Detroit, they got people in Detroit, and she runs this city.
Did she talk to Trick?
And did not.
Okay, all right.
And did not. First of all, let's talk about how the husband, baby daddy, whoever this her man is, he's from Lansing.
That is not Detroit.
Is that Detroit?
It's not Detroit.
Is that Detroit?
Not even
All
close.
right, now let's talk about it in the comments.
What is
okay?
it, 45 minutes, an hour away? Okay,
Okay.
continue.
Let's talk about in the comments, if you guys can put how you feel about people who do not live in the city of Detroit claiming Detroit. Okay? And that's our neighboring Birmingham, Grand Rapids, Southfield, you name it, that want to be like, I'm in Detroit. You're not. Okay?
Well, okay. Now, what I will say about our fellow Michiganders that surround Detroit, right? Because I was born and raised, went to DPS, but I currently live in Redford.
Okay, but you were born and raised.
But I was born and raised.
Okay.
So, if you was born and raised in Detroit and you no longer live in Detroit, you still get to claim the D.
You can claim the D.
You can claim
you
the
were
D.
born and raised in Detroit.
Yeah, like you don't have to.
to.
Now, if you grew up in Farmington Hills your whole entire life, never went to a Detroit public school,
never,
you not from the D.
Okay, stop playing with us.
You're not from here.
I moved to Oak Park. I lived in Oak Park for 7 years. But again, Detroit, born and raised.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I can claim it.
Okay.
Okay, so put in the comments, y'all, what y'all think about folks claiming Detroit.
If you can be put on a no-fly zone by Trick, you are not from Detroit. You just can't. Like, if he can be like, you can't come here, you're not from here. Okay?
It's the female Jay Leno for me.
It is, though. It's the chin. I mean, it's very much giving, I work hard for my money. And that's no shade, no tea. No. It's just... It is
but
what
it is
tea,
because this is the tea.
It is what's tea.
Okay.
But it is just what she looks like. And I just feel like the attitude that comes behind her
doing too much.
It's too much.
Doing way too much.
For what you're putting out into the world. And that's all I'm going to say about it because I'm not here to bash anybody. But it's too much. It's not giving what it's supposed to have gave.
No.
So you should stop.
Not run the city.
No, not run the city. Okay, so yes, please respond. And if you think that Lansing, someone being from Lansing entitled you to run this city, please let us know, because maybe we tripping. Maybe, you know, I don't know. So, speaking of tripping, so we all know, I mean, like, we cannot not discuss, you know, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
Oh, we're gonna go there.
We're gonna go there, but just a little bit, just a surface, because everything is allegedly. right?
Alleged.
It is alleged. We don't know what this man has done or what he has not done. But what I will go on the record and say is I never liked him.
Ooh, I never did either.
Not ever.
Not ever. Not in the Mace days. Not in the Biggie days. Not in the Source Awards.
Never.
Never.
Okay, and let me tell you something. When he really burnt his bread with me,
What?
making the band.
Yeah.
When he sent them to go walk and get that cheesecake, and then wasn't there when they got back, I knew we was dealing with a different type of dude.
Shenanigans with Diddy, it's just so many different moving pieces. There are so many different layers from not just him, but the people who worked for him, the people who worked with him, the people who had fun with him.
Absolutely.
Okay, all of the adults, the kids, there's just so many layers about this situation, and we really can't talk about it too hard.
Yeah,
but
we don't have lawyers and we don't have Diddy money,
and
so everything is alleged. Okay, thank you. What I will allegedly, but what I will say is, abuse is never love.
Nope.
And the next time that he hits you may be the last time, and not because he's become a better person, because you may not be here with us any longer. So please, if you are in this situation, seek help.
Yes.
It's not love, and no one that loves you would put their hands on you in that way. That's now, your mama whooped you. I don't have nothing to do with that. That's love. However, if it is a relationship, no human being should be putting their hands on you.
That's right.
You shouldn't have to cover black eyes.
That's right. That's
okay.
it. That's what's up. Go ahead, person.
Okay.
All right. Now, what else is tea?
What else is tea?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we remember a few months back where, Michael Ealy, Making Good, it was a whole big thing. Jonathan Majors. Well, I just want to talk about it a little bit.
Okay, talk about it.
Now, we know that Michael Ealy is a phenomenal specimen that the Lord has made.
Amen.
Okay, amen. And I know that they used to work together. They're co-workers. So let's look at this situation, not as that we're looking at celebrities.
Okay.
Let's look at it in this way. So let's say you and your boo, he has a co-worker. They work together. Then
you see my face already?
And so he's out. He sees her. She's with her man. He runs, picks her up, hugs her tightly, spins her around while she's giggling. How do you feel? Exactly. So Michael Ealy is a married man. Megan Good has a man. I don't care how close you are. I don't care how much friends you call yourself to be. It is never acceptable for another man to pick her up and twirl her around while embracing her and she's giddy. So I blame them both. He knew exactly what he was doing. He would never want someone to do that to his wife. That's first thing. Any man knows that that's disrespectful because if it hadn't been done to them, it would be smoke in the city.
Okay.
My issue with her is you did not even pretend to put up a fight. You didn't even try to be like, put me down.
Now, I'm going to be devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Now, if someone puts you in that position and you're looking to play it off, per se, okay? You're playing it off. You know that this might be inappropriate, but you're in the situation. You're midair, okay? It's like she had to choose whether to be in a position of, what are you doing? Put me down, and make a scene. Or, and laugh it off.
Okay.
She chose to laugh it off.
So let me tell you something. Okay, 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. I'm going to choose my husband every time. So if some man feels comfortable enough with me to pick me up in front of my husband, one, what have I done? Okay? Because I didn't set a boundary where he understands that that's not okay. And two, I'm going to make it very clear in that moment to my husband that I'm not okay with this.
Okay,
right?
But that ain't her husband.
Ooh, it's not her husband, but it is her man.
But that ain't her husband.
Okay, but Your fiance is not your husband.
But he's the fiance.
But before he was the fiance, you would have made it very clear.
That's true.
Okay. That's very true. So it doesn't matter the status. If it's a relationship, you still have to show respect to the person that you're in the relationship with. Now, I don't know very many women who would not be elated to be picked up and swung around by Michael Ealy. I just, God does good work. So let's thank the Lord for it. He does great work, okay? Mm-hmm. But that's not our work. That work belongs to somebody. Amen. He got a whole wife.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
And we belong to somebody.
Okay.
So being twirled around shouldn't even be an option.
Well, maybe Michael Ealy's wife is cool with it. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe she is.
Maybe she is. Because you're you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And everybody's going to know who your husband is.
Absolutely.
And what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Point blank in a period.
Because you don't want to smoke. Because I'm going to do this. Hey, ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay, hands off.
Okay. So, yes. So, yeah, that's, the tea.
Okay.
But I know it's time.
Is it time?
For sponsorship.
Okay.
So, today, our sponsor is Journey to Sound Productions.
Yes, period. Journey to Sound Productions, we are a event management company. However, we do specialize in stage management specifically. Mm-hmm. I am the founder of Journey to Sound Productions, and it was birthed out of my love for managing stage, for being behind the scenes in the magic, in the moments that we're able to produce musically. I have a passion for it. I absolutely love it. If you guys have any type of production that you're putting on, I would love to be a part. Even if I'm not the actual manager of the event, I love to assist. I love to learn how other people work. So yeah, think of Journey to Sound Productions for your next stage event.
You won't regret it, I promise you. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the segment where we not only introduce ourselves, but we introduce our relationship and how we came to be person to person. And I go into talking about this relationship without talking about how we met. So get you some tea, because this is piping hot, and I'm gonna tell you how shady she was when we first met.
The shenanigans already began.
Okay, the truth. So we used to work together at a cell phone company. Okay, we're not gonna name them because we don't like them. And so when she started, I was the assistant manager, and I just loved her name, or at least what I thought her name was, right? Because I had never met anyone named her government. Am I allowed to tell? Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Her government name is Marlena, right? But I had never met anyone named Marlena. The only point of reference that I had...
Excuses.
The only point of reference that I had was from Days of Our Lives. And there's a lady on there named Marlena. Okay? So stick with me. So every time that I would see her, she just seemed so serious. And, so I used to be like, Marlena, how are you today? Marlena. And so I'm like, this girl don't like me, and I don't understand what the problem is. So one day I had to just pull her to the side, like, sis, what's tea? And so she was like, you just keep mispronouncing my name, and I feel like you're doing it on purpose.
First of all, wait a minute. Let's rewind that back. Because I was not that way.
First of all,
I don't talk like that.
Oh, the lies.
I don't move like that.
The lies, okay?
With nobody huffing and no puffing.
Sis was hot. You hear me?
I was hot.
She was hot.
But I wasn't huffing and puffing.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? She like, you doing this on purpose, and I'm tired of you trying it. Is what was really going on. And I'm like, honey girl, listen, I really thought that was your name, and I was really just trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey girl, let's lighten the mood. She wasn't having none of it. How we ended up here today, girl, your guess is as good as mine.
This is how we ended up here today, okay? Now, when I started that job, more so over than the name thing, okay, I was going through it, okay?
Yes, she was.
I was going through it in life, you hear me? And this job was like a stepping stone for me to come up out of that hole. But at the same time, I'm going through it, and it's very personal. And I just met you. Every single day I worked with her, she would be, "Are you okay? What's going on? Do you have kids?" And I'm like, this girl is all in my business.
But ain't that what you love about me?
I love it now.
I know, right? Because I am an empath and I do care.
Okay, so I was very agitated by that. I was very irritated by that. I'm like, I'm going through it. This is not nobody's business. I'm going to make it through this thing. You know, sister warrior. You know what I mean? I don't need nobody.
She a thug.
Okay, Tupac. All right. Okay. And so I was like, ugh, just irritated by that. And on top of that, you saying my name wrong. Like, sis, I need you to stop. But what got to me, what melted my heart was just those things. She would always ask me, "How are you?" Checking in with me. She's like, "Look, I know, you may not want to get personal, but at the same time, I'm your manager. Like, I want to make sure that you show up as your best self. So what's going on?" And so I realized that she was doing that genuinely. And she wasn't just trying to get in my business. And then I also watched her with our other employees. And I realized that she was a keeper. She was a keeper. She was a holder, okay? You could go to Shanita and tell Shanita something that's going on and it's going to stay with her. Nobody's going to know your business. Nobody's going to know. I have watched those conversations happen, behind closed doors and understood that I never knew what was going on with that person. You can tell maybe somebody was upset. They came in that day visibly upset. They go to the back. They talk to Shanita. They come out smiling. But nobody knew why they were upset because she never told it. So I began to trust.
Yes. And then it became a beautiful dance, right? Like I was given like a keyhole entry, and then I got access to the full door. No, we went to a window first. Then I got through the door, but it was a beautiful journey.
It was.
And we used to both really love Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
She stuck with it way longer than me. I think I tapped out at like season 10. I don't know what they on 35.
They on like 36.
Okay. But we loved the dynamic between Meredith and Christina.
Yeah.
And how she would always say, "You're my person," right? And so what does that mean? What does being somebody's person mean?
Yes.
It means that not only do you understand them on a deeper level than just being friends, right? It comes without judgment.
That's right.
It comes with just unconditional, I accept and love you for wherever you are, whatever you are going through. And that was the thing that built our friendship. We could not be more different.
That's right.
Like we are super different. Like I used to always tell her, like if we were back in the 70s, right? And that was our era, she would be a Black Panther and I would have on hot pants with the Farrah Fawcett hair, roller skating. Okay. We're that different. I'm not militant, okay? I could probably care less about a lot of things, okay?
It was just like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Yes, Christina was very hardcore, yes, very non-emotional.
Yes, and Meredith was a
lovey-dovey.
Yes, and I love you. Christina, like, if you don't get up off your head. And so we got to see the differences in us that made it better. Like, I used to love to just sit and hear her talk about the things that I had never known anything about, like, the whole Moore thing and, just having a village. I have family, right? I don't necessarily have a village, right? I wasn't used to those type of, things and terms. And for me, it was the thing that made me love her just even more. Like, I get you. I understand you, right? Because at first I'm like, girl, you what?
Listen.
Like, that don't matter. We going to march on what? For why? Like, I don't.
She really didn't care.
I don't.
She did not care. And I'm like, look, the Clinton administration, this and that, the Biden administration, blah, 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 politics, this and that, and the world issues of hunger and starvation and shortages of water and, oh my God. And so she's like, girl, did I put the meat out?
Right, like I don't have time for that.
Okay, I gotta pick up my kids from school. Like, I don't care about all of that.
My philosophy is, God got me.
Amen.
I don't need to worry about all of that other. If I can't first of all, I can't change climate control. I can't fix politics.
That's true.
Why am I gonna waste my energy being stressed out about it. I'm going to do what I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And go and watch some Murder, She Wrote. I don't got time. Oh, and that is a thing about me.
Mm-hmm.
I like very seasoned television.
Old.
Seasoned.
Old.
We're not. You just gonna insult our audience like that? Anyway, I like seasoned TV because I used to watch
older TV series than from our generation.
Yes, well, technically, I did watch it with my grandmother and my mother.
See,
so me and my mother, Murder, She Wrote, Columbo, and then I have morphed into something that has even out seasoned my mother and my grandmother. I love British television. Okay? British murder mysteries, to be exact. Oh, and Keeping Up Appearances. First of all, best comedy show ever put on the air. Okay? Hyacinth Bouquet, comedic gold.
I have no idea.
I know you don't.
See,
back in the day, it used to come on PBS.
Okay.
You could get it on the PBS. You know, when you don't have cable and stuff. You could get it on the PBS.
Okay.
And I used to watch it, and I'm like, this lady is funny. But then as I got grown and Netflix got the show, you see how people, it's supposed to be unconditional and they're supposed to love you. You can see all of this over here. But anywho, go ahead and watch you some Keeping Up with the Appearances. You'll love her just as much as I love Patricia Rutledge, Hyacinth Bouquet. Okay. But yes, so I am rather boring.
Meanwhile, I'm loving hip hop.
Yes.
And Baddies West.
And Baddies. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. You could not pay me on a good day, okay, to watch Baddies.
I know.
I cannot deal with the shenanigans. Okay. And here's the thing. You would think that Baddies is more on par with my personality.
Why?
Just because of our differences. Like, I'm more like, it's whatever.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I'm more that person, and you would think that this type of ghetto-ness would appeal to me. It does not.
No, it doesn't. You're not here for the ghetto shenanigans.
I'm
You're not here for the belligerence.
I'm not.
You're not here for any of those things. But because I am the person that worries about the entire world and what's going on and how it might affect me and my children and all of this madness, I don't know how to compartmentalize the way that you do.
Yes,
that's a very good skill that you have. But I can't do it. So I need to watch I need to let the TV watch me.
Yes.
That's what that stuff is for me. It's drama. It's something that's outside of my life, okay? I'd rather watch somebody else fighting than witness it in my own life.
Yes,
you know?
or do it, because she's not going to do it.
Right. I'm not going to fight you.
She's not going to
fight you, but she going to fight you.
I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit too old to be fighting. How, if and ever, I am from the D.
Okay.
And we don't do a whole lot of talk.
Okay.
You know, so as you get older, it's like, okay, I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to involve myself in this situation that can escalate.
True.
Right? Because escalation going to escalate and it's going to be a thing.
But
so
you for the stuff.
I am here. I am a little bit.
Then I got to be for the stuff.
Just a little.
Because she for the stuff.
Just a little bit. Like, you know, having children, I'm definitely a calm, you know, ish individual, I think. So I don't ever start nothing with nobody. Not ever.
No, she don't start.
I'm not that girl. I'm not messy. I'm not.
She don't start.
I'm not any of those things.
No. I could see myself physically fighting over my children, over my man, and over you.
Well, thank you.
And my sisters.
I feel the same. And my brother. Because first of all, I don't play by that one. Not even a little bit.
Not at all.
However, I'm at the stage where I have a registered pew. So, and I'm also arthritic. So I ain't got time to be fighting nobody. Okay.
Pew. It's a 22. That's my ratchet. Okay.
What happened to her?
I don't know.
She went away.
What's the last thing she was saying? My something comes out late at night and something.
I have no idea.
Anyway. Auntie, what's her name? Auntie Hammy, I think that's her name. Anyway, I don't know. She's blowing in the wind, but yeah, the dynamics of our friendship it's amazing. It couldn't be more opposite ends of the spectrum, but we make it work. We make it work. And I think that's the beautiful thing about friendship. You know, when you can accept someone as they are, for who they are, where they are, right there. You know, you're not trying to change them. You're not trying to get them to adjust. You're not trying to get them, you know, there are so many instances where we can agree to disagree. And I think a lot of people just don't have the ability to do that. Regardless of whether it's friendship or marriage or relatives or whatever, people don't know how to just agree to disagree. And we have done that beautifully for how many years?
Girl. What was it,
2008. 2008.
Yeah, because my baby was 2.
2018. That makes 10. And then 19, 20.
What is that, 16?
16 years.
16 years. Wow.
We made it work.
We make it work, but it's more about, like, I find beauty in understanding where somebody else is coming from. So it took me a long time, right? I'm a hothead at heart, right? So I'm quicker to be ready to defend my points than understand where the other person is coming from. And learning how to navigate that not only helped me in my friendships, it helped me with my children, it helped me in my marriage, because a lot of time we take the approach that either we're right and that's all that matters when there's a disagreement, or I'm not wrong. And you see how both of those things are the same thing, right? Because all you're focused on is saying, but I ain't wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. Instead of validating the other person's feelings. They have a right to feel that way. And it's your job as the other person on the end of that relationship is to understand why do they feel that way? Because most of the time when you take the time to figure out why someone feels a certain way, and understand that this is not a battle you have to win, that this is just a disagreement. A disagreement is so completely different than an argument. Right. A disagreement is like, well, we're just not on the same page, right? Why don't we agree, right? Because a lot of time we'll say, we don't agree. I just don't agree with that. And you don't care what the other person is saying. That's right. But once you take that time and allow them to explain to you, then you're like, oh, I see how you got there. Right? I may not still agree, but now I respect your viewpoint. Yeah. Whereas if I'm just like, whatever, I don't agree with that, I don't respect what you're saying. Right. I'm just dismissing you. And so I practice not dismissing those in my life, because I feel like it's very important. Because when you dismiss people, you close the door on things. Harder to understand for people, because people are like, oh, that's just your best friend. No, she's my person. It's different. But I handle her differently than I would somebody else, because I understand her sensitivities. I understand that because she has a need to be heard, sometimes she's going to automatically start on the defense, but you have to work, and then she'll be like, oh, I'm going to dispute everything she says. It doesn't matter. She could be right, but I'm going to dispute. I mean, just a little bit. Paquito, you know. What? So you just have to navigate your relationships differently. But the one thing that is the same, or that should be the same for all friendships, is that there is a sanctity to it. And what happens within that friendship stays within that friendship, even if the friendship dissolves. That's right. And that's what made me drop my guard down with you, is knowing that. Yeah. Also watching you move with other folks. I have watched this woman put down any and everything she has to do because a friend needs something, or because a cousin needs something, or an auntie needs something. She is like the most supportive person I've ever seen in action to date. Like, for real. Besides, I think, I don't know. You're it. Okay? You're it. And so that sanctity that she's speaking on, that's what, I appreciated with her, and that's what made me drop my guard down with her. And so I will say to everybody out there that is listening, if you have a bestie, if you have a person, if you have a friend, any loved one that you have decided to put in your inner circle, hug them a little bit tighter. Absolutely. Okay. If you were thinking about that person or whomever that is, go ahead and send that text message.
go ahead and send that email. Go ahead and send that card. Go ahead and send that meme that you were thinking of sending them. Do it now. Yeah. Do it now. We're never promised tomorrow. We cherish this friendship. Absolutely cherish this friendship. And so we are excited about this journey and sharing everything with you guys. We just have our own little rhythm and our own little banter, and we decided to share it with the world. Why not?
Absolutely. And we are here for you. So, like, not only do we want to talk about what we find to be utterly hilarious or going on in our lives, we also want to know what's going on in your life and, what you would like to talk about or discuss. With this being our first episode, of course, it's pre-recorded. At some point, it's going to be a live show where you're able to chime in and, just let us know how you feel and, what's going on. Like, what's tea? We're always looking for new ideas for what's tea. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I do just want to let you know that any relationship, differences are only an issue if you allow it to be. Differences are what make us unique. Mm-hmm. It's what makes us individuals. And if you only want to surround yourself with people who are just like you, you may be a little narcissistic. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But take the time to get to know the people around you, where it's a conversation, just where you're there to listen and learn and not waiting on your chance to speak. Mm-hmm.
Your person could be sitting right next to you if you just drop your guard.
Absolutely.
Drop your guard and listen and let them in. It's okay. We want to show everyone what it's like for two women on the complete opposite spectrum be able to celebrate one another. Absolutely. Be able to talk some talk and get some jazzy jazz going on and some love going on between one another and sharing that with the world.
Absolutely. Well, I would like to thank you for coming to our inaugural episode of Person to Person.
Person to Person.
We have many more to come.
Yes. And we're going to have all of our Gmail, TikTok, YouTube channel, all of those links are going to be below, okay?
Yes, because you can find us there if you have something you want to discuss. If you'd like for us to shout out your business, please hit us up at our email. We are persontoperson@gmail.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But yes, this is our show, and let's build a community of friends.
All right, Person to Person out.